What's up, guys? It's your man DX. Welcome back to the Elite DX channel. Today, I'm going to be warning you about a trend that's going on out here called the Foodie Call Date. And I know that there are a lot of you guys who are not in the least bit interested in dating, but for the ones of you who are interested in dating, it's called a foodie call. And unfortunately, in this day and age, we always have to make these cute little phrases up to describe everything, especially if it's some kind of wrong or destructive behavior that a woman or women are doing toward a man or men. Because, of course, everything a woman does is viewed as perfect, or at least justified as being right or either just okay. But that's just the world we currently live in. So now, just what exactly is a foodie call? Well, let's go ahead and dive into it. But first, if you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. Also, if you like the content that I'm discussing in this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And right after that, tap that share button and share it with all your friends and contacts on social media.
Have you ever been on a foodie call? A new study out of 2 California universities found more than a third of women only go on dates with guys to score a free meal. That's right, girls fake interest for free food. Girls gotta eat. Researchers surveyed more than 1,000 women and found those who did go on foodie calls had done it an average of 5 times. But some girls admitted to going on over 200 dates with zero romantic interest just for the grub. Crazy, right? And the study says it speaks volumes about the girls taking advantage of guys' wallets. Most women likely to go on a foodie call were found to be more self-involved, manipulative, and lacked empathy for others. All signs of dark personality traits like psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism.
That report actually wasn't that bad. I'm actually a little bit surprised, because they did describe it as psychopathic behavior, but they kind of still held back their punches on the language there, because what it really is fraud. It's deception. It's a woman using you for something she wants out of you, knowing that she has no romantic interest in you. She wants a free meal, and maybe even drinks to go along with it. You might say, well, that's petty. Well, why would anybody do something like that? It's not worth it. Well, you have to realize that times are hard and people are struggling out here. And also, most women are not very good with money. We know this. Not all, but most. The typical woman is up to her ears or her eyeballs in debt. Because women care about image. They'll go and do things like get a new car when they really don't need one. They'll get the latest model. They'll buy the latest clothes, and they love shoes and all this other stuff. So they spend excessively. So they get into financial trouble, and they're up to their ears in debt. So they fall a little short on the grocery bill, and they want someone else to pay for it. I mean, this is becoming more and more a thing. But this is not a new pattern of behavior for women at all. This game has been around for actually a few decades. In fact, I believe this has been the basic pattern of thinking of most women when it comes to dating. They figure, well, even if I don't like the guy, at least I'll get a good meal out of the deal. And so now what we've done is we've just made up a cute little nickname for it, the foodie call. So there are a lot of women out here who do this multiple times a week just so they can eat. No, seriously. And not just eat, but eat in the style that they want to. Meaning they want the most expensive meals prepared by skilled chefs, like the 4-course luxury meals. Like the ones prepared at the most trendy spots in the cities wherever they live. They want just only the best, in other words. But of course, they want it to be paid for by some beta male. But in the end, it's just basically fraud. They lead you on to think that they're into you, but they're really not into you, and they're just doing it so you can take them to a nice restaurant and buy them a meal, maybe drinks to go along with it. And since this is bad behavior, you know that most women who do this are not going to admit to doing it. So it's interesting to me that in the survey they pointed out 33%, meaning a third of women who date, admitted to doing this. You know what that means? It means that really more like 50 or 60% of women who date are actually guilty of this type of behavior.
In a heated conversation with our team the other day was this thing called, guys, it's called, what is it, Foodie Call? So who knows what a foodie call is? Hello, foodie call. Not booty call, sir.
Right.
Foodie call.
Foodie call. or permanent side chick.
Oh, huh?
A permanent side dude or side chick, depending on how it's phrased.
What is a foodie call?
A foodie call is when someone who doesn't have a main man goes out with many different people just so they can get good meals.
Have y'all ever heard that? Yes. Wait, okay, thank you, sir. Ma'am, stand up right now. You've been
I've not just heard it, I've done it, yeah. I've been on probably 100 dates this year, and I'd say about like a quarter of them have been foodie dates.
First of all, what are you doing that you got 100 people?
I'm trying to find my husband. And I'm also trying to eat. I've got like a ramen, budget and like an oyster appetite.
Okay, so you've been on 100 dates. Some of them have been foodie calls.
Yes.
Did you tell the guy?
No, I mean, here's the thing. They ask you on a date, right? If you're on online dating sites, they're saying, I want to go to this nice restaurant. I want to take you on this nice restaurant. Do you want to come with me? And so, why not, And also, you never know what it's going to turn into.
Okay.
I've had some actually turn into relationships.
But you go, though, because you could not afford the restaurant.
I could not afford the restaurants. Absolutely not.
Is your mom or dad watching? I'm kidding.
No.
Ma'am, okay, you stand up, please, because I saw you over here nodding. You've done a foodie call?
No, I would never do a foodie call. Oh,
really?
You're a good-looking woman, and that makes you look cheap. Definitely.
No, I just, listen, I wouldn't say that at all, because here's the deal. You going, it's possible that you will turn into love.
Right.
Listen, and I'm about this. Don't judge anybody else's love. Love your love, let me love my mother has a saying, if you like it, I love it. So, but you wouldn't go on a foodie call.
If you're going for love, it's different.
Yeah.
But if you're going just because you can't afford a meal and you want the guys to pay for the meal,
you think it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Well, listen, when we go out for lobster, you're going to buy mine, though. Let me tell you that. Because I've been unemployed for 3 years. I might not be able to cut it. So here's the deal. We had this fierce debate, just like this with our staff. So my assistant, her name is Lizzie, and she's a recent college graduate. You know, everybody's been talking about college debt and all of these things. And Lizzie, even though she works for the show, apparently is also broke, like me. So Lizzie said she would never go on a foodie call. Why not, Lizzie?
I don't know. I just think it's really tacky. It's bad karma. I feel like I would never want someone to use me like that, so I wouldn't use them. You seem really fun, though. Like, we should go out together. We'll go to Wendy's, get some spicy nuggets.
See, I think, I'm not sure some spicy nuggets. She wants to eat at one of the fancy restaurants. So for me, I actually don't, I've never done it to my knowledge. I've had some Last Suppers where I was like, you're never going to see me again, and thank you.
And so, as you just heard, a lot of women will shame other women for this type of behavior. And I believe that's the reason that a substantial number of women who do this are not going to admit to it. So it's a lot more prevalent than we think. But the most important part that we need to know about this as guys is how do you avoid getting into a situation where you're paying for a meal for a woman who's really not interested in you romantically. And, well, the simplest explanation of this is just for you to stay in your male frame and not be a beta male, so she doesn't even try this. Now, I know that I can't teach all of you guys out there how to be an alpha male, but I can give you tips and tricks and things like that on how to avoid being treated like a beta male. Well, the first thing you have to do is be strong and confident in yourself, which means that you are going to live in your reality as a man. And the reality is there are millions and millions of women out there who want a relationship. And traditionally, women have been the ones who have sought relationships, not men. And that's what I teach you on this channel. Don't go looking for a relationship because you don't really have to. Remember, guys, that women control when sex happens, but men are in control of when commitment and a relationship happens. That's your power. And so the foundation to this whole thing is you have to have a firm, strong rule that you are not going to take any woman on a first, second, third, or any date to a restaurant, especially an expensive restaurant, until after you have seen her naked and had sex with her multiple times. And contrary to popular belief and what you've probably been told in your life, if you're a millennial man or a Generation Z man, the way to get laid by a woman is to be stubborn and uncooperative. You don't cater to her. Women don't respect when you cater to them and put them on a pedestal because they look at you as not on their level. And they also know that you know you're not on their level. Not to mention that when you do that, they see you as being a weak beta male for giving in to their whims. And so you don't do that. And again, I know there are a lot of guys who listen to my channel who are not even interested in dating these women, not interested in the least little bit. But this is for the men who are interested in dating women. So, like I said earlier, be strong in the position that you are not going to take any woman out to a restaurant or anywhere like that for lunch or dinner where you have to spend a significant amount of money until after you're romantically involved with them. Okay, so the obvious question is, well, where do I take her instead? Well, the perfect place to take a woman who you're trying to get to know is out for drinks. There are two reasons for this. The first reason is because it's much less expensive. So just in case things don't work out, you will have invested a lot less money into this situation. And the second reason is because when alcohol is involved, good things can happen. Now, I did say alcohol, but not too much alcohol. You want to stick with 1 or 2 drinks. Because when women are in that zone where they're feeling good, they're feeling comfortable with talking to you, they can really open up to you and things can happen. You can make a connection. And then based off of that connection, women sometimes make a decision right then and there to be romantically or sexually involved with you. And that's the desired result, I assume. That's what you want to happen. And then consider this. What if you make a habit of taking women to expensive restaurants on the first or second time you meet up with them, and it ends up costing you $100, $150, $200 every time? That can get expensive. Whereas if you take her out to drinks, then it'll only cost you, between $8, $10, $12 for one drink. So you can maximize your investment by going out on 10 or 15 dates for the price of that one and going out with maybe 5 or 10 different women in hopes of finding the right one or right ones. So yeah, take her out to drinks. And if a woman tries to maneuver you into the position or coerce you into the position of taking her to her favorite restaurant for dinner or lunch or something like that, then completely refuse that and ignore her and move on to the next female. Because she's showing you right there that she's trying to pull this foodie call maneuver on you. And then the next obvious question is, what if you're talking to a female that you've met and you're trying to hook up with her, go out on a meeting or a date, and she states that she doesn't drink? Well, in my mind, that's when you sort of reassess the situation and see if you really, really want her that badly and try to determine just how much interest you really have in getting with her. When I was much less experienced, I tried going out with females who didn't drink at all. And I find it a very uncomfortable vibe. You're sitting there and she's going to be questioning you endlessly. It's like an inquisition. And it's also kind of awkward, especially if you're drinking and they're not. So I don't want to be feeling like I'm on the hot seat, and I also don't want to be in an uncomfortable environment. And so I would probably just not even bother going out with a female if she told me she didn't drink socially. Now, that's just me, and I would advise against it, but you guys can make that determination on your own. But the bottom line is that there is social pressure out there to try and make men think that they have to take a woman that they hardly even know and impress her and buy food for her and treat her like a queen and all that in order just to get to know her and get a chance to be close to her. Do not fall into that. Don't be subject to that. That's the whole point of going your own way. Whether you decide to date or not, do things the way you want to do them. Don't give in to the social pressure. Because if you do give in to that pressure, you will be a victim of the Foodie Call heist. Well, I guess that's it for today's video, guys. Now take a look down at the bottom of this video right now and see if you are subscribed to my channel. If you are not, hit that subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. And if you like the content that I'm putting down in this video, go ahead and smash that like button. And I would like to know what you guys think about this so-called Foodie Call scenario. Do you know of a guy who's had this shit pulled on him? Do you know of a girl who's done this before? Pull up in the comment section and let me know what's up. And last but not least, let's get this joint popping on social media, dog. Let's put it out there for the world to see. And as always, until next time, this is your man DX, and I am out.